Okay, listen, pay attention. You know, in 2011, September to be specific, Chinua Achebe, the prolific writer from Nigeria, an Igbo man, rejected a whopping sum of 1 million US dollar from 50 Cent. Just so 50 Cent would not use the name Things Fall Apart. This made 50 Cent to go ahead and name the movie All Things Fall Apart. Now listen, I said that to say this. If Chinua Achebe could reject 1 million US dollars in 2011, do you think he will approve for the book Things Fall Apart to be depicted in the cinematographic production in 2024? The answer is no. If Chinua Achebe was to be among us in our brand today, his answer would have been no. But now listen, Hollywood, they have proposed to depict the movie Things Fall Apart in the cinematographic production. And a whole lot of Africans are excited, especially the Gen Z generation. You know why? These are people who don't like reading books. They just want to sit their ass on the table, eating popcorn and be watching a movie. They want to see Okonkwo being depicted in the movie scene. They want to see Amaranza the cat. They want to see how Mefuna being depicted in the movie scene. Listen, we Pan-Africans are not enemy of progress. It's not that we don't like watching movies. We love to watch movies as much as you do. But I want to teach you something. This book is not an ordinary book. This is a book that is full of heritage and pride. Let me teach you something that you need to understand. Before 1958, before the book Things Fall Apart was published, all the story, all the historical documents, account, fiction or non-fiction on colonization has always favored the sons of the hunter and neglected the efforts of the sons of the lion. That is why Chinua Achebe have to write a story that depicts the perspective of an African in Things Fall Apart. He has to tell our story. These same people rejected this book when it was written. You need to read There Was a Country to understand what Achebe went through before his book could be published. Listen and pay attention. I want to teach you something. I am not against the movie being depicted in the cinematographic production. What I'm against, what I'm asking is, I'm asking the question of 3 W's and 1 H. The first W is who. Who is going to play the role? Who will play what? Who will be involved? Who will write the script? For what purpose will who write the script? Who will do it? Who will play the role for Conquer? Idris Abba. Is he going to depict a movie that demands a cultural and linguistic authenticity? Will he? Who will act Amaranza the card? Who will use the Igbo accent? Who will use R when L is supposed to be used? That is what it connotes, my brother. Now, what? What are they going to write? What are they going to act? What are they going to project? What are they going to depict? What is going to be superior? What is going to be the hero? What is going to be the variant? Who is going to be celebrated? Is it the sons of the lion or the sons of the hunter? Because that is what Chinua Achebe said. As long as the lions do not have historians, it is the exploits of the hunters that will be celebrated rather than the bravery of the lions. And today, they are about to resurrect the sons of the hunters again. And the last W is why. Why Things Fall Apart. Why the book we so much cherish in Africa. Why the book that we hold so much dear to our heart. Why now? Why? Why must it be a folly movie production? Why? Why? No, that is the question. Why do we intend to sweep all the crimes of the colonial masters under the carpet, under the rug? Achebe was the only writer in his time who was not politically correct. And that is the target on this book. Because once this movie is being produced, it's going to water down the relevance of the book, Things Fall Apart. Because we are in a generation where people do not want to read. You just want to watch a movie. But let me tell you what will happen to you when this movie is out and you watch it. Listen, my perspective and yours will be different. Because I tell you for a fact, no matter how good the movie industry is, it can never depict totally what is being written. It can never depict totally what is being written. It's not possible. Not. And listen about this I'm about to tell you. When the movie is out, when you give the movie to the generations to watch, 90% of the coming generation are going to watch the movie. They will not read the book. And know what will happen? When Idris Abba ends up playing Okonkwo, This is what will happen. When you ask a child, have you seen Things Fall Apart? He will say yes. Why? He has watched the movie. He does not care about the book. So when a child is thinking about Okonkwo, he's thinking it is Abba. Come on, tell me something about it. He's thinking it is Abba. He's not thinking an indigenous African in Africa. He's thinking it is Abba. This is what you should know. Let me tell you what writing does and reading does. Reading gives you the power to create a mental picture, a vivid mental picture of what you are reading. That is why reading is a mental calisthenics. It creates a mental picture. You place the images in your mind and you portray what you want to portray. But a movie gives you a specific image of what you should think. So if it is Abba should play the role Okonkwo, it is Abba is going to repeat and depict who Okonkwo is. And such a role coming from someone who does not represent the cultural, linguistic, and authenticity of the people is being represented should not be acceptable. How else do we explain this? How else do we explain this for you to understand, Achebe? How else do we explain this? You think we are complaining for nothing? We are not complaining for nothing. We are complaining for what we have seen. Listen, the Hollywood is the picture window of the world. It creates reality for you. In my previous video, I've told you the history of it. You need to understand there's a target on this literature that will so much hold dear to our heart. There is a target on it, and we must not allow it. We must speak up and speak out. To those involved, we must protect this one. We must protect it. It is not ordinary book. Is it not enough that it is Abba played the role of Madiba Nelson Mandela in Long Walk to Freedom? Is it not enough? Is it not enough that he played in The Beast of No Nation? Or do we intend to give him all the roles, all the heroic characters in our literature archives? Because we don't have actors in Africa. What pathetic, what outlandish it is. Africa, wisdom is the principal thing. I'm going to play you a video from Genevieve when he was asked what she's going to take home after a long day with Hollywood. You are going to watch it. She saw herself as a commodity. Let me play it. I wish to end this video. You play and understand.
When you went to Hollywood, what did you find that you took back to Nigeria and the African continent that you didn't realize but has changed the way you now operate?
Well, for the first time I realized I was a commodity.
You were a commodity?
Yeah.
Right.
I thought, given what I had done with Lionheart and all of that, I was going to have an opportunity to do more. Getting there and having the kind of support that obviously, Cannex is bringing on board, but I thought I could find it in Hollywood. That was not quite the case. They wanted what I had, but for their benefits. It was all about their story. It was all about how I could bring, even if it was our story, how I could make it more like them or, more authentic to their own understanding of whatever Africa is, because they did have a lot of literature in their archive. And that was, I'm Nollywood. I could have gone to Hollywood a long time if I wanted to, but I had a dream to build an industry in Nigeria that could rival, because I always believed in that. I always knew that we were capable of actually owning an industry like that told our story for our people. And I wanted that. I respect what Hollywood is doing. I respect what Bollywood is doing, and I felt Nollywood had an equal chance at it. So when I found out that it wasn't what they had in mind, I'm like, I'm just going to wait this out.
Wisdom Africa is a principal thing. Remember, request for books, request for Things Fall Apart. Until they answer my question of the 3 W's and 1 H, we are not interested. We are not interested. I repeat, we are not interested. Africa, wisdom is the principal thing.